I supposed to?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
How's the audio?
So, Doc, did you get the picture of my bike?
Yeah, don't say anything about your bike.
Oh.
Yeah, it's that serious.
Ooh. That sounds serious. What's up with your bike? Did you get a new bike, Gene?
Don't say anything about your bike, Gene.
Come on, man, it's just us.
Okay, Dante, I'll hold on.
Yeah, the reason being is because we're gonna do a giveaway with your
You're giving away your bike?
No, dude.
Oh.
I wish. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers. Then I might think about giving away a motorcycle.
Well, hopefully we've got
get to like 1 million. Seriously. Whoa.
hopefully we've got people watching in Oklahoma and Port Orchard, Bremerton area tonight.
Yeah, well, make sure you share. Let's make sure we share this. I just shared it to my page.
Is it streaming? Can you hear me? Is this on?
I'll set my phone down for just a second.
Can you hear it talking in the background? Okay. So you guys just like normal, just monitor the chat. If there's something that somebody says or that you see somebody come up, as soon as they come up, just once you give a shout out to someone and whatnot. She can join in too.
Say hello to Janine.
Hi, Janine.
Turn that up a little bit because I can't hear that.
I will.
I get my little white chalkboard that says, "Here's my wife."
Give me that snarl face. A bit smoky.
No.
Glad you
Oh,
came.
yeah. About 2 minutes.
You're a guest. Damn it.
All right.
How many subscribers was it we're going to give away, Janine?
Quick.
All right, we got 7 people watching so far. Oh, hey, they can hear us on the stream. You know that, Doctor, right?
Were they talking about me getting naked?
Yeah, I don't know. They might have heard that. I don't think Dante muted it. I can hear it because I can hear us talking on the. I have it playing on my tablet. What up, Jeff? Yeah, King Fallon says yes, we can hear you. Mr. Fallon, don't forget to go see Jesse and get your rating done.
One thing that we gotta worry about is if it gets too loud in my echo.
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Just give me a microphone up in front of my face.
So, Gene, did you hear about the Louis G's?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
That's gonna be a huge sell.
Hey, Tiffany.
Oh shit, what is up with this?
Whoa, I just came up with a little problem.
Mike, you didn't do that one yet. Once it gets up, then Daniel didn't respond.
Alright, Jeff, this is gonna be me and you talking in this first portion, okay?
Are you having technical difficulties?
You
Just a black screen. Thanks.
Hey, how's it going? Yes. Daniel, we're having technical difficulty because now you're just blacked out, and so is Tiffany. So that's what we're dealing with.
Tiffany.
Yeah, that's all right though. We're okay with that. So me and Jeff will lead this conversation, and if you want to say anything, go ahead and say anything.
The
But
viewers can imagine what they look like.
exactly, there's Tiffany in Jeff's.
Well, now I see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there they are.
Let's do this.
All right. So if you're just now joining us, thank you for joining us in the rack on Talking Runs and Making Runs. I'm your host Dante. I'm joined with Jeff Ost.
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 For the 100th time.
Yep, and Tiffany right there, and Daniel, who you'll see in a little bit. So
I'm
again,
ghosting you.
yeah. So that's how this show goes. It never goes perfect. So, all right. So let's go ahead and start off with what's new. What's new, guys?
Well, tomorrow I'm getting my second COVID shot, so that should be fun.
All right.
I heard a lot of people are getting flu-like symptoms for a couple of days after receiving their second shot, so I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Tiffany, what's new with you?
Here. Woo, I'm back.
All right.
Yay.
Hey, Daniel, how's it going?
I'm good.
Anything new with you?
I ordered a new set of custom fitted golf clubs yesterday.
Oh, nice.
So, that's new.
So you play golf?
Oh, and yeah, I play golf. And I went to the Black Star today and played pool for the first time in over a year.
Oh, nice. How many tables did they got running?
Two.
2 tables.
2 tables.
Who'd you see while you were over there?
Well, the regulars still go in there and they're hanging out doing their thing, but
I don't know. I haven't
What's
been
that?
there for a year. I don't know who the regulars are.
Are they the same?
they're all bearded up now and looking like they haven't come out of their house in a year.
Gross.
So do you have to get custom fitted golf clubs because you're like 7 feet tall, or what?
Exactly.
All right. So
Exactly.
let's see. What's happening? What's happening right now? Anything?
I think we're getting ready to start up a UPA league.
Yep.
Whoop, whoop.
I think most of us are playing in that.
Yep.
UPA. Does anybody know what UPA stands for?
United Professional
United.
League or Association.
Yeah.
Awesome sauce. Is there anything to look forward to?
You tell me.
No. There's nothing good to look forward to right now. We're still
Yeah,
wearing masks and
dude.
face diapers.
Dude,
What?
daylight savings time is coming up next week.
Shut your mouth.
So we have to work longer? That's terrible. All right.
No. That means longer days, more golf.
Oh, that's true. That's a good... You know what? We need to go and play some golf.
I like how American Hustle said, "Hello, gentlemen. There is a lady here." But that's fine. That's cool.
Yeah, but you're blacked out. You're ghosting them, Tiffany.
Yeah.
just like I
I'm
am.
here. If somebody would have gotten the camera set. No.
Hey, if I could make more money and actually hire a crew to do all this, that would be great. But we're still trying to get to that 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't done so, please, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, and hit that bell icon so you can get notified of more of our live streams and content. All right,
Yep.
So the whole reason why we're here, we have a special guest with us. Most of us here in Peirce County, King County even, we all know him, right? He's the one who kind of comes in real sneaky like just to drop off the score sheets and whatnot.
Looks around in the background of the pool players.
Yep. I'm talking none other than Gene Garno. How's it going, Gene?
Hey, Gene.
Good. How you doing, guys?
Not bad. Okay, first of all, for those of you who are listening out
Hey,
there, if
there I
it
am.
sounds like we're having echo, let us know so I can fix that on the fly. But other than that, let's get started with getting to know Gene. First of all, I want to say thank you, Gene, and thank you for coming on to the show.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to go in a clockwise manner, and we're going to start with Jeff, and he's going to ask you a question. Then we'll go to Daniel, Tiffany, and then me until we get tired of asking you questions.
So, Gene, how long have you been the representative for Peirce County APA?
This will be my I believe it's my 23rd year. I came into the league in 1998, I believe, with my first team. I was a part of the Board of Governors and the Handicap Committee my first year. And then my second year, I had showed up at the city tournament and found a panicked Michelle with no help, and she asked me if I would be maybe willing to help out and maybe get involved, and the journey began. 23 years later, we're in the middle of a pandemic, but we're still having some fun.
Yep.
It's been quite the journey, but 23 years, met a lot of people, been a lot of places with the pool league, and really have had a lot of fun. I wouldn't have stayed doing something this long if I wasn't having some fun.
That's awesome.
Super awesome. Looks like Daniel, it's your turn.
Is that me next?
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's see. What's your guys' thoughts? Like, what's your timeline? I know we talked a little bit about it before we came on air. As far as what are we looking for to get league going back up again here in Peirce County? I know other parts of the country is already doing it, but we kind of have a philosophy from what you were telling me earlier on what we're looking for and how we can help as players.
I mean, obviously, I'd love to be able to just go run right out and get right back to it. There's some things that have to take place first. Number one, the governor has to say we can do it. Obviously, we're at a point right now where we've got some recreational pool coming back. We've still got, a limit of 5 people at a table, 6-foot distancing. The bars have a limit to the capacity of people they can have in there.
That sounds like dinner.
The dog didn't agree with that.
That sounds like dinner. What's going on?
And so I think really what we really need to happen, first of all, is we need our host locations to be back up and running. If not full capacity, they're going to have to be up to pretty close to full capacity. They're going to have to be healthy as far as business wise. And then we're going to have the players themselves be comfortable with going out and being in public again. Even though we may have 50% of our people that are ready to come out and go at it, we may have bars get to a point where we can get 50% of our league back up and running. And I would love to say that would be good, but myself, I think if we come back at below full strength, I just don't think we're that strong of a league, and I don't think we're that strong for our host locations. We need them to be healthy. We need to get them back to where they're doing business as usual.
So us as pool players, what are things that we can do? The pool players that play out of these host locations or did a year ago. What are some things they can do to help those host locations out?
Well, going out now that we've got some of our host locations that have open tables that they're able to go out and practice and play. To be able to get them out, out having a pop, out having lunch, playing a couple games of pool, just even going out and saying hello gives those locations, the managers, the bartenders, it gives them, they know that we care, that we're working with them, that we're going to be there with them to help get them strong, and that will help get us back strong also.
Yep.
And our number one priority over everything is safety. It's people's health. You know, people have to be comfortable. They have to be confident that we're making the right decisions and asking them to come out and play pool.
Right.
Absolutely.
So I think that's and obviously that's number one is health and safety. We've seen it. We've seen the sickness. We've seen the deaths. Just about everybody, if not directly, indirectly, they've been involved or have had death in the family or relatives.
Yeah.
So we know how, you know, how dangerous, how scary it can be. And even with the vaccines coming in, even with all the safe measures, it's gonna take some time. We're getting there, and we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
But it's gonna take time, and we've got to be patient. To be able to give a direct 100% ETA on it.
Oh, there's no way. Yeah, there's no way.
There's not,
There's no way.
and that's why you see Vegas. They've now put off the World Championships and the other events until August and December. And the reason they do that is because they have to lock in locations. They have to lock in time frames.
Right. I would imagine even those are tentative at this point.
They are, but the reason they lock them is because they're locked in with the ability to move them if they have to. If they don't lock them in, and then all of a sudden everybody says, "Hey, yeah, we're good to go," and they go, "We're not ready," you know. So they have to give those dates out there. You know, we'd like to be able to give dates, but I find it sometimes. You know, like I said, I'd like to get going next week. And I think a lot of people would, believe me. Looking at people's comments, looking at, you know, some of what people say, you know, they'd love to be out there right now.
Yeah.
But
So key takeaway here, I think, you know, especially for all you local guys that are watching this, you know, if you played out of a host location, you know, and they're open back for business right now, you know, stop in, like Gene said, stop in, say hi, have lunch, shoot a game of pool. You know, make sure you tip those guys if you have the means to do it. You know, obviously, if you've been out of work, you know, and you've been financially affected, you know, don't do what you can't do. But if you can, you know, I've talked to a couple of players that have gone to some of their host locations, just ordered a Coke and left a $50 tip, you know, to help out some of these waitresses.
absolutely.
And, you know, if you guys can do that, go in there and take care of them. Let them know that we appreciate them being there and that we're looking forward to coming back. You know, and that we're still here for them. So, and hopefully before too long, we'll all be back on the table again.
Absolutely, and just to throw in, I mean, I'm very fortunate. We're very fortunate in Peirce County with Michelle Barkdahl as our lead operator. She's a very smart businesswoman. She'd love to be back up and running right now. He'd like to have been back up and running months ago. This is her livelihood also. So when they shut down. That's no income, and so it's a lot on all of us, everybody, you know. So I'd love to get back to having fun. I miss seeing everybody.
Right.
Wouldn't we all?
Tiffany, what do you got?
Well, Daniel kind of took my question, and I think because that question kind of led into other questions that I should just let you take your question, Dante.
All right, I'll go ahead and answer my question. How's that? Chimney's always okay. So Gene, I got two questions. One, why do you wear your hair the way that you do? No, seriously. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. If I had to shoot pool, I know I have like in the back of my
Dante, ladies and gentlemen.
right in the back of my head. Every time that I turn my head like this, I feel like I got hot dog packets right back here. And you got all that hair, that would probably tickle my ears. It would throw my shot off.
It actually moves with my head. It actually stays with it. Jeff ties it. I tie mine back every now and then. But no, it doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I'm going on 2 years now.
No, it's been a year and a half.
We're going on 2. And I kind of get a kick out of it. I go back and forth. I'll go short hair and I'll look in the mirror for a year ago. Why did I do that?
Yeah. Yeah. No, but my actual serious question is this. So I qualified at regionals like in 2019? When are we supposed to go play? Or are we getting notices in the mail for that or not?
Oh, absolutely. They in fact, I mean, they just had the, are you talking for, you qualified for regionals?
I qualified at regionals for 8-ball.
That was for Vegas, right?
For Vegas, yeah.
So you're going to the world,
Yeah.
singles world championships. Again, until they can have that type of gathering, even in Las Vegas, until they can make it happen. I mean, they still plan on having it. I believe last I saw was that they're going to increase the players at the tournaments, and what they'll do is they'll pay the money down further down the list. So their plans are still to have these tournaments. They haven't canceled them. They have postponed them with a set date. And again, it's up to the government, up to COVID on what it does to be able to allow them to have that kind of gathering and be safe.
Okay, all right.
And of course I use the word safe. We're afraid of COVID, but we're going to go down there and get as drunk as we can and run into things and fall over and stuff. You know?
Yeah, I think
That's a good point.
But they have to. They can't bring that many people together in one place and not be concerned with people's safety as their number one priority.
Right.
You know.
Okay, I think we have time for one more question each, and then we're going to get into our first game of the night. So, Jeff, go ahead, make it a good one.
Hey, Gene, we were talking the other day about the U.S. Amateur Championship, and you were telling me that you actually qualified one year. Why don't you tell us about that?
I did. It's a great event. Even the qualifying for the people up here in Peirce County, King County, Snohomish County, the events down in Oregon. I know they have qualifiers in other areas, but the ones down in Salem, Oregon, are a blast. We'd get a group of us together. We'd take off the night before. We'd go down, go to the cue ball. We'd practice and have some fun, have something to eat. And then the next morning, we'd all show up for a weekend of pool. We'd have some breakfast and get ready to play pool all weekend long. You're going to find some of the best in the Northwest. They're 9-foot tables. It's a combination of 8-ball and 9-ball. And I was fortunate one year to go through undefeated. Got the opportunity to play Mike Massey afterwards, just to have some fun. I got a chance to go to Laurel, Maryland. was right after 9/11. So all the military was out at the airports with their guns drawn, and when we got to the East Coast, they were a little bit more serious because they put us on a plane, filled it up with fuel, and sent us right towards the White House. You know, so it was also during the time of the anthrax going on.
Yeah.
So
I heard they were sending that out in the mail.
all the federal buildings were shut down. We did get a chance to do some of the Smithsonian. We got a chance to see DC, Arlington National Cemetery. But the tournament itself was, they do a cocktail party before the tournament starts, which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Have a couple drinks and some little smokies and then go play pool. Good luck! But I mean, it was a blast. You got to meet people from all over the country, and in that tournament, people traveled from all over the country to come out and play money games, because you've got some of the best amateurs in the world right there, or in the country right there, and so people come and travel because they want to play those people. Like I said, I had a lot of fun. I played well right up until the tournament started, and then I still had fun. I mean, we had people from the Bronx, and we had people from, I mean, they'd talk, and we'd have to really listen really close because I wasn't used to hearing, you know, the accents, and but it never fails. You go to a tournament, and I go, yeah, I know things these people don't. I got things in my back pocket. And you get down there, they all know the same thing. You know? Yeah. And East Coast and West Coast is two different games. People don't understand that sometimes when they go to Vegas and you get some of those lower level players, and they come out and they shoot lights out, and you go, that's a 3. That's a 3 that plays on 9-foot tables all the time.
Yeah.
And that's a 3 that plays East Coast pool, which is a very aggressive style of pool. We play a more, and I say we play, I don't mean everybody, but for the most part, we play a laid-back, defensive, postured game. Where I found in the tournament, especially the U.S. Amateur Tournament, I'd play defense, and if I left the guy a crack, he'd shove it right down my throat. You know, and but it was an absolute blast seeing the different styles, getting to meet the past champions and play with them. You know, so it was an experience. It was an experience I would recommend that, and especially if you're a higher level player and you want to really experience that type of competition. I really advise that you go take part of it and have experience.
Awesome. Daniel, what do you got, man?
Yeah, so mine's going to be quick and easy for you to answer, Gene. So, you know, with all the new technology that's come out, you know, in the pool world with, you know, carbon fiber and all this new stuff people are shooting with these days, are you still old school? Are you still playing with a good old wooden cue from 1975, or...
Yeah, one of those joints that cut into like 3 pieces.
You know, I'll tell you what, and I know I'm taking a little bit long on my answers here, but most of us know LT. I bought a Lacoste from LT some years ago, and that stick was, I took 2 strokes with that stick, and I said, that's my stick right there. And I bought that from him right then. The first tournament I played was the U.S. Amateur Qualifier. And I fell in love with that stick. It was, I mean, it was the best stick I'd ever had. Well, of course, everything else was, I think, $100 or so. But that stick got stolen. And so I've always been looking for a replacement that was somewhere close. 2 years ago, And 3 years ago, I love having a wife there to correct me. It's so cool.
You might as well, hey Gene, you might as well pull her into the picture so we see who you're talking to. Pull her into the picture one time so we can see her.
That woman in the background.
All right.
So I'm fortunate. Some of you know, and Daniel, you might remember. Jeff, I don't know if you would. Dante, you might. Sarge, Tiffany. I don't know if you were around back then when Sarge was around. Sarge was a local, and still is but he was a local trick shot artist. Him and his wife were a team, and he's actually in the Billiards Hall of Fame for trick shot shooting. And we did a kids tournament many years ago at Q and Cushion, and we had so many kids turn out, we had to turn people away. And it was amazing to watch the skill of these kids. And it was fun to watch. I mean, we had kids that shot overhand, over the shoulder. We had kids that had their parents made bridges and put wheels on them so they could reach out on the table. These guys were fun to watch. It was a blast. Well, Sarge and Shar did a trick shot exhibition for the kids.
I remember.
And
I remember that.
And McDermott actually sent us a little Keeler cue stick for a raffle, for a giveaway for the kids. And so I kept in touch with Sarge. He worked as a poker dealer. And so they went to Las Vegas, and I ran into Sarge on the poker tables. And probably before the start of one of my tournaments that I told myself I wasn't going to be at the poker tables until 4 o'clock. But we hooked back up down there, and then 3 years ago we were down there. We got married, didn't we? And
The day after we got married.
and
You don't know if you got married?
We were very drunk.
that's why I just wanted confirmation that was the trip.
I'll never forget.
So we Sarge was doing some exhibitions during the tournament, and I went over and said hello. We were BSing, and I said, "Yeah," I said, "I'm out looking for a doggone stick while I'm down here. I'm kind of looking at Lacoste," and he kind of looked at me and says, "You do realize that I'm a rep for McDermott now, right?" I said, "Oh, sure, I knew that." Well, he says, "Why don't you come over when I get done here? Why don't you come over to the tables and come on over and take a look? I'll watch you shoot, and we'll take a look and see what we can find." I said, "Oh, sure, sounds good." So over we went. A little while after he got done, went up to the table, and he pulls out his personal stick that he uses on tour.
Remind him we've got
And
a video.
and yeah, of course, Janine shot video this whole time we're there. And he hands me the stick and says, "Go ahead and shoot a rack," So I shot a rack, and I tell you what, I shot like you guys do when you're shooting against me. Spot on. I didn't miss a shot. I did not miss a shot. My ball speed, my control, everything was perfect. And he was sitting there watching me, and he had this smile on his face. It was kind of funny. And I turned around and I said, "I'll take it." He said, "Oh, no." He says, "A lot of people tried to get that stick, but no, that's my personal stick I use when I'm on tour." He says, "But let's get in the catalog and see what we can find you." And so I bought a G-Force, and I'm happy with it. It's still not my old Lacoste. Of course, I don't practice like I did back when I had that either. But I do like the stick. The one thing I can't seem to grasp with all the new technology and the newfangled and everything, hybrid. I've always shot with deflection since I was 15 years old. I'm used to hitting the ball and it's not going straight. So you give me a hybrid, I hit the ball, it goes straight, I miss.
Right.
I can't shoot straight. So that's one thing I get, anything else, I really, I like the old fashioned stuff for some reason.
Nice. Yeah. There's
Hey,
nothing wrong with that.
No, it's, I do own a Lacoste hybrid I got from Jesse 911, and I like that stick. I mean, it's great to look at because I sure can't shoot with it very well. If I put in the time that I used to put into the game, I could probably hit straight.
Right on.
But life happens. My work changed to 4:30 in the morning. By 8 o'clock at night, I'm yawning and wishing I wasn't in the bar playing pool so much.
Well, aren't you in for a treat tonight? Because that's actually when we end the show. But I think Tiffany has a question.
Did you remember it?
Is Stephanie awake?
I think Gene's an awesome person. I appreciate you being here and the questions that you're answering, but I don't.
Okay. Well, Gene, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Question number one. Out of all the bars that ended up going out of business or closing all the way, which one of those do you feel kind of hit you right here that they had to close?
Well, I'll tell you what. The first one was the first bar that I ever had a team out of. And that was Oldies.
Oldies? Do you guys remember Oldies?
That was before my time.
Oldies?
Anybody remember Oldies?
There's
Well,
a reason
I'll tell
it's
you what.
called Oldies.
Oldies was, it's where Loose Wheel is now, up there on 6th Avenue across from Safeway.
Okay.
Oldies was an old hangout. It was what I used to call the old "you stumble in." It was the tables were a little different because when you shot on those tables, it was like playing golf. Anyway, you'd have been great. You had to figure out the roll of the table to get in the pockets.
All right.
But we had 5 teams out of Oldies. That's where I first started my first team, and so that kind of hit me. But when we made that move, we made a move to the old city. Like, hey, are you okay? He didn't just fall out of his chair.
No, I think he's digging a hole in his bedroom.
Sounds like he's opening a bag of potato chips. Yeah.
There he is.
So, Oldies was the first place I ever had teams out of. And it was actually where I learned how to do a 8-ball break, which is something that I'm a big fan of. I have a lot of 8-ball breaks. I've had 8-ball breaks in local city tournaments, regional tournaments, and national tournaments. And it was Oldies at one of their tournaments that I learned to do 8-ball breaks from an old player named Rudy Shaw. And this guy it was like he made 8-ball breaks on command. He said, 8-ball break, and went right in the side pocket. And I asked him, I said, how do you do that? He said, well, come on, I'll show you. And so he showed me, and I got up and I broke, and that 8-ball drifted in the side pocket. I love you. I said, I love you.
Right on.
And I learned a long time ago, because I am a poker player also, do not give your tells away. So when I was down at the singles national championships, down in 2013, I believe it was, I was playing in a match against a Canadian kid. He was a 6, I was a 6. We played the very first match of the tournament, and this guy scared the heck out of me because this guy he wasn't missing shots. But when we got the match started, I won the lag, and he proceeded to watch me shoot. And we had a blast. I beat him. And then in my third match, the next morning, I won the match. I had 2 8-ball breaks in the match. And after the match, he comes up and he says, "Hey, nice match. I'll see you this afternoon." I said, "You playing this afternoon?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "You and me." Huh. He came back around. And so we got into this match. Well, after our first match, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead a little bit. After our first match, he says, "Boy," he says, "I sure do like your break. What English do you get at?" There's nobody on the tables. The kid's from Canada. I'm never going to see him again, right? I show him my break. So we have our match later in the afternoon. I've got him on his heels. I'm playing well. I'm rolling the ball. Everything's going well. I make one mistake. I don't roll my cue ball far enough to cut the 8-ball. It puts me up. I only need one more win. He was done. He was toast. I missed the cut on the 8-ball. He runs that rack, comes back, gets a break and run, and then he uses my break to send me to the pool.
Oh, that's terrible.
I made 2 mistakes that
Oh,
tournament.
All right, my other
oh
question.
man.
So just to learn more of a lesson, I go and play a mini tournament at 10 o'clock at night. I'm playing a mini tournament against another 6, right? And so we show up, and I'll tell you the ending a little bit is that by 10 minutes after 10, I was already heading back out to the bar. But I lose the lag. I rack the first rack. He gets an 8-ball break. No big deal. Rack it up. He gets another 8-ball break. I live by the 8-ball break. That's what I live by. And I'm down 2-0 to the 8-ball break. So I rack it back up again. Yep. Guy gets another 8-ball break. 3 8-ball breaks in a row. I'm down 3-0. No biggie. I've been down 3-0 before, right? So I rack it back up. SOB. Another 8-ball break. 4 8-ball breaks in a row.
Damn.
So I rack him back up and I look at the guy and I said, "You know what? I'm actually rooting for you now." I said, "I really want you to get that 5th 8-ball break because I can brag about getting beat 5-0 by 5 8-ball breaks." The guy hit the tit on the side pocket.
Oh, wow.
I played the defense. Didn't work. Game over. So 5-0. I live by the 8-ball break and I die by the 8-ball
Yeah,
break.
definitely.
That's crazy.
So my final question before we get into this game, out of the Peirce County area alone, if you had to put together a team to represent this area, 5 guys or girls, who would you put on that team?
Wow.
Wow.
Hell of a question.
What a loaded question.
But here's the reason why I asked that is because you get to see you've seen everybody at their worst, you've seen everybody at their best, you've seen them compete at cities, you've seen them compete at regionals, you've gone to Vegas and you've seen them play. So I would like to know what your opinion is about that.
Well, I mean, I could. Wow.
You can even say yourself if you want. That's
Oh
fair.
no, no. And not that I don't have confidence that I can play pool, but when it comes to the level of pool that you're talking, I mean, we have so many good players.
I got them.
But we have some very exceptional players out there. one, I mean, Jeff Drone, the guy is an exceptional player.
Yeah.
You take Sean
my
Lewis.
mentor.
Take Sean Lewis, another exceptional player.
Yep, there's two.
Take Frankie Roca, another exceptional player. Somebody who this guy's dear to my heart. I mean, look at Clark Smith is another exceptional player.
You got one more.
And then you've got
Billy Chillis in his prime.
oh my goodness, Billy Chillis, that's another one.
He could beat you with a broomstick.
He could beat you with a piece of chalk, dude. Are you kidding me? And if he didn't have you at first, he'd distract you enough to get you in the end.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But you've got so many other exceptional players. Look at Robert Alston. In his prime, this guy, I'll tell you what, there are days when you watch Robert Alston control a cue ball, or he moves a cue ball around the table and gets it to places you just shake your head and go, really?
Yeah.
How did that work? We have some very good pool players in this area.
Yeah.
And even look at yourself, Jeff. Look at Jeff, where Jeff's game has come, just from even a couple of years ago. Putting the time in, Daniel. My goodness, putting the time in over and over and over again. I've watched you guys grow. Dante, you've always been a thorn on my side. I've watched you guys grow from coming in with your mouth wide open, watching some people shoot, to grabbing a cue stick, and now those people got their mouth wide open watching you guys shoot.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
So we have some great, some good players in this league. We've got some great players in this league, and what really makes APA for me, you'll never hear me really bash other leagues, and there's a reason for that. And number one, I'm not competing against other leagues. We shouldn't be competing against each other. Yeah, we'd all like to say we're the biggest, we've got the most, we've got this, but it's all about getting the players out to the tables. It's all about getting people out and enjoying the game, whether they're just having fun or whether they're competing. So if I have a team in APA that's getting too high and they don't want to split up, and maybe I know somebody over here that's looking to maybe expand their team, then it would be really against my beliefs if I didn't push them to try something else.
Right.
Not every format fits every player. Some formats fit some players better. So finding that where you fit in, as much as I'd like to say you play APA, it's just nice to be able to say you're playing pool, you're coming out, you're having fun with the game, and that's what it's all about. Coming out, having some fun.
Absolutely. All right. Just real quick, I know Tiffany has a prior engagement, so we're gonna say goodbye to Tiffany. Bye, Tiff. See you
No
later.
wonder she couldn't think of a question. She was thinking about where she had to be.
All right.
It's not
Nice
that I
seeing
didn't
you,
have
Tiffany.
questions, Gene. I just they asked them all for me, so you're awesome. Thank you for
Good seeing you,
joining
Tiffany.
us.
All right, Gene, here it is. This is our game, all right? It's called Are You Smarter Than Our Host and Guest? Seriously. All right, so what's going to happen here is that I'm going to ask you guys questions, all right? Those of you who are out in the chat, you guys get a chance to answer it as well. What's going to happen is I'm going to take 30 seconds to ask you the question. I'm going to give you an additional minute or so to talk it over, and then we're going to see what the answer is, all right? So our first question is, so this movie right here, we all know it, we all love it. It's called Poolhall Junkies. The question here is, who are the characters featured on Poolhall Junkies? I just want their names, their character names. So, those of you in the chat, if you want to type it in, you got about 30 seconds to put it in. Gene, if you want to start saying some names, and then Jeff and Daniel get to help you out.
I'm going to defer to the smarter guys.
So, who
Up until this last year, I didn't get to spend much time on movies and shows.
Oh no! Have you ever seen this movie?
You know what? I have not.
Oh my god!
Oh, man.
You're coming over. We're watching it. So, I'm just saying.
Man, I'm trying to blank. I know the actor's name is Mars Callahan, and that he wrote it and directed it, and he plays a main character. But I don't remember their damn names.
All right, so in the chat, first of all, in the chat, I want to say welcome to the following people. A lot of people in here. We got 18. No, we got 20 people in the open chat, and I want to say thank you for joining us. I want to say welcome to American Hustle. I want to say welcome to Practice Room with Dana. Fred Betters, thanks for joining us. Jessica Lamora. Beard King, my buddy Joe, or Josh, or whatever, which one he likes to go through. Ken Fallon. Let's see who else we got in here. Dan Wingate. Hey, how's it going? Anyway, so looks like a couple.
I don't think anybody knows this one.
So yeah, I thought this would be a dead giveaway, but here's the answers. Oh wait a minute, we got the PAX room.
He's got the real names.
Yeah, he has the real names, but I just wanted the character names. So the answer is.
Can't use IMDb.
So we got Johnny, Uncle Mike, Joe, Tara, and Brad.
What are you saying, Joe?
What are you saying, Joe? All
I
right.
want to go home.
So, Gene, you got to watch this movie. I think you get a kick out of it, definitely.
It's got Ricky Schroeder? Really?
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Actually, that
He
is
plays a pro
interesting.
pool player in the
That
movie.
is very interesting because the next question is this: Ricky Schroeder. Ricky Schroeder, before he was Brad, he was better known in what 80s sitcom?
I know this one.
All right, so I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Were you old enough to see that?
I was born in the 80s. You guys are way older than I am, man.
Dan, do you know what it is?
I
Let's not
know
vote.
this one.
What about you, Gene?
I do now.
All right. Thank goodness for the
Practice
wife.
room.
Yeah, you can't ask your wife. That's cheating.
All right, if you answered, the practice room said Saved by the Bell. No, it was
Silver
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 Spoon.
Spoon.
Silver Spoons, yeah.
Silver
I've never even
Spoons.
heard of that. All you old fogies.
That's funny.
No, I used to watch it. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you used to watch it?
I did too when I was younger.
Yep. All right. Question number 3. So we have actor Michael Rosenbaum, after playing Johnny's overzealous brother, later moved on to play as what character on the popular CW TV series?
I didn't know like I did anything else besides pool.
What's a CW?
Jeez, what's the CW?
Sorry, I thought I was being quiet when I asked my wife that.
I don't remember this one.
Who says Fogey?
It looks familiar, though. That's
Oh no, Dana says he doesn't watch TV anymore. All right. Doesn't look like anybody else is answering. So if you answered, oh, what do we have here? Beard King says like Y2K happened. Jeff, haha, that's over now. So here we go. Lex Luthor on Smallville. Yep.
Smallville, yeah, okay, that's right.
Superman.
I never watched that. I never really watched that show.
Yeah.
Never watched the TV show. Hell no.
Question number 4. We all know who this is, right? Christopher Walken wasn't always a smooth, badass Uncle Mike. What character did he play where he wasn't such an angel? Well, he was an angel, just not a friendly one.
The Prophecy.
Oh, man.
I think it was a Prophecy.
What character?
I've never seen the movie,
I
but
don't remember.
So Jeff got the movie right. He played in The Prophecy, but which angel was he?
I have no idea.
Crickets.
Who?
It just sounded like crickets there for a minute.
Beard King says he was a lion tamer before he acted.
Oh, yeah. No. Okay, so he was Gabriel from the movie Prophecy.
Oh, yeah, didn't know that one.
All right, number 5.
This is why I never got free movie tickets. I can't answer.
All right, number 5, you guys got to pay attention to. Here we go.
More cowbell. I know that reference, Mike.
Everybody got all quiet and shit? About a minute ago, it was like an evening at the Apollo up in this motherfucker. Now all of a sudden, it's quiet as a church.
All right, so in that clip, where did he get what quote? Quiet as the church. Where did he get that quote from?
that from the movie The Hustler?
I have no idea. Oh, yeah, I think you're right. I think that was a throwback to The Hustler.
Anybody else?
I just was going to nod my head. I think they're right.
And he is right. The Hustler, Paul Newman, Eddie,
Yep.
Fast Eddie. Yep, he definitely said that. Yep, Practice Room got it right. 1961 even. He got the year correct.
That's bonus points for the
That
practice
is
room. The
bonus
only one to
points.
answer a question correctly.
All right, the last question, number 6.
And for a second, I thought you were going to play the opening conversation from that movie. That's very appropriate.
All right. Some say that's me when I was younger. It's not. Ernie Reyes Jr., before running racks on the table, he was Keno on what popular reptile crime-fighting movie franchise?
Yeah, way to give that away. Crime-fighting reptiles. I'll give you a hint. They're teenagers.
There's 4 of them.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah! Good job.
You
Way to
also
go.
Surf Ninjas. That was a pretty extraordinary movie.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Did you guys know that when he got his first start on a show called Sidekicks? Nope. Okay. Cool. All right. Last question.
I'm going to be spending a lot of time on demand here lately. I think.
All right. Last question. Here we go. In pool, a record of 526 balls were pocketed without a miss by one of the most famous players of all, Willie Mosconi, in 1954. That total was surpassed by who recently?
I
It
know
was
this one.
too, and I don't know.
That would be John Schmidt.
John Schmidt. Yeah, practice room got it.
Who? That's right.
John Schmidt, yeah.
John Schmidt. All right. Good job, you guys. Apparently, we're all the same level of intelligence on these, except for me, because I came up with these questions.
I don't know.
Thanks for playing.
You spelled then wrong on your screen there. Like we might.
That's true. Don't point out my grammar mistakes, man. Okay. All right. So this is the first for us. We're actually gonna have a giveaway, Gene. And this is gonna be based on you.
Wait.
All right.
What?
Go ahead.
Say that again?
I said we're gonna have a giveaway. It's gonna be based on you. All right. So what I'm giving away is a $25 Amazon card. Okay. Now, this is how it's gonna work. Gene, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to say anything. Nothing. You just have to sit there and look pretty. All right.
I can give up my pocket fuzz if you need it.
For the rest of us, myself, Daniel, and Jeff, we are going to tally. All right. And when I say tally, is what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this in a format like this. All right, we have 4 bikes. We have a BMW, we have a Harley, we have a Honda. Oh yeah, my bad.
It's an Indian
We have-
Scout, damn it.
We have an Indian, we have a Honda, and we have a Harley. All right. And we're going to play it just like a tournament style, all right? So here's my first question to everybody. Out of the BMW and the Indian, which bike do you see Gene riding?
Oh, that BMW all day.
There's no tricycle.
Oh,
You don't
No.
get to say anything, Gene. You just got to sit
Sorry.
there and look pretty.
no, definitely the.
All right, so practice room, flip your hair, Gene. No, okay. So far we
it's
got
all in flip.
the practice room saying the Indian. Anybody else?
I say the Indian for sure.
Mike Davis says the Indian.
I'd say the BMWs because it would look funnier.
So we got 1 vote for the Indian, 2 vote for the Indian. You say?
Well, the Indian bobber and the Scout. Those are
Red Better
badass.
says
Now,
the Indian.
do you understand, you guys? Since you guys are my hosts, you guys don't get to guess.
Oh,
Red-
well,
Nobody
you know,
writes.
I'm
Exactly.
just trying to influence the crowd.
Oh, my bad. Okay. So we got 4 Indians. So the Indian moves on.
Yay.
All right. Out of the Honda and the Harley over here, what do you think Gene rides?
Definitely not a Honda. Nobody rides Hondas nowadays.
I ride a Honda.
That's funny.
The Scout
Yeah,
and
I
Harley.
think the chat room's gonna say Harley. I think we're gonna get all Harleys.
You think
I'd
so?
be
Why
surprised
would
if
anybody
not.
look at how sexy that Honda looks?
It's a nice bike. Don't get me wrong.
That looks like somebody who listens to techno would ride that.
All right, so the Harley moves on. There we go. All right. Out of the Indian and the Harley, which one do you think Gene would ride? Beard King says the Indian.
Yeah, it's possible. I say Harley.
Honda's
Not
pretty,
that my
but
vote
I
matters.
could pretty much picture at Walmart. All right, so we got 2 for the Indian. We got 1 for the Harley.
3 for the Indian.
3 for the Indian. 1 for the Harley.
We're still sitting there looking pretty.
Yeah.
I'd say the Harley. Gene's a classic guy, so
I'm starting to think
Classic.
that the
Indian.
Indian. That the
All
Indian
right, so
thing
the Indian
is,
moves on.
connected to the hair flip.
All right. So here's the cool thing about this. All right. Now, once I reveal this black box right here to what Gene actually owns and drives, if this would have been the winner and whoever got it would have been put into a pool and there would have been a lotto for that card. But only one person chose the Harley, so the answer is the Harley. He actually rides a Heritage Harley, so congratulations.
Classic.
Yeah, Heritage Classic. So congratulations to Mike Davis. You got a $25.
Nice job, Mike.
Yeah, you got a $25 Amazon card coming to you. And since you live not too far away from me, I'll come and give it to you, or you'll see me soon. So thanks a lot for playing on that one, you
Buy
guys.
some more chalk.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to the open chat now. So we're gonna take the next 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. Those of you who are in the chat, ask Gene any question that you want to know about him, about APA, or anything in general, or any of us, before we do our shout outs and then end the show.
Wait, let me go get a shirt on with the target.
All right. Gene, while we're waiting for some questions to come in, if any questions come in, I just want to say thank you again for showing up. I want to say thank you for taking the time to putting together this league and making it run smoothly, because even though during this COVID time, just putting together maybe 5 guys together and getting it organized and making sure that people are being where they're supposed to be is hard enough. You have to deal with a whole county to do that, and I applaud you for all the time you put in.
Well, thank you, Dante. Last count before we stopped playing, we were at 256 teams. 23 years ago when I came in this league, we had 100 teams, and our 9-ball division consisted of 9 teams.
Wow.
I can tell you that my success with this league has 99.9% has to do with Michelle. You know, when we go through our shutdowns, when we go through our problems, our bars that close, Michelle is 3 steps ahead of all of us. She knows where the teams are going to go before the bar even hangs up the close sign. She has already given me the list of captains to get a hold of and let them know where they need to be the next week, who's got the buys. So she really, when it comes to the tournaments, she puts these boards together, she puts this stuff together, and then she says, here, go have fun and run it. And so I really have to give her a huge shout out. She really is one of the smartest business people, I'll say business people, that I've really had the chance to be around. The one thing that I think we decided here during the summertime that we were going to get together on Saturdays and have dinners. We would barbecue on every Saturday, and she would come over and we would talk and we would make plans, and we'd say, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then the next week, the governor would say, no, you're not. And so next week, we'd do it again. And so we've stayed in constant contact. We try to have a plan just in case. It's hard. It gets frustrating. I can tell you that a lot of you won't recognize Michelle when you see her. I've known Michelle for a long time. As Daniel, you guys have known her a long time.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you what, she has gone to healthy eating. I can't say that stress has had a little bit to do with it, but Michelle is about half of herself now.
Nice.
Wow.
Congratulations,
And
Michelle, if you were watching
she looks absolutely awesome.
Nice.
That's fantastic.
And so we will come back again. We will come back strong. We have, like I said at the beginning, I would not do this if I wasn't still having fun. I have met some of the best people in my life through this pool league. We have some great people in this pool league, and it's really kind of amazing how it works when you have so many different personalities, different occupations, different walks of life, yet we all come together for the love of the same game. Right. And it really is, I mean, when we do our city tournaments, the only reason we have kept that format as opposed to going to tri-cups is because of the feeling of a big tournament atmosphere and the chance to get to see everybody all together at the same time.
Right.
It's amazing how many people you see year in and year out, and now you get to see their kids. Their kids are coming out playing. So it's just kind of, it's really fun to see it evolve. And again, I really do appreciate what you guys are doing here for the pool players and the pool world. keeping them informed, keeping them entertained. You guys are doing a great job, and thank you.
Thank you. All right, just so we can get to some of the questions in the chat. The practice room, Gene, do you think the slop rule in APA is what creates most of its interest among amateurs?
Why?
I don't know about it.
Question.
I don't know about interest. Entertainment, yeah. You know, it's kind of a loaded question.
It's in the chat. I didn't make this up, so.
My wife, my wife loves that rule. You know, in the game of 9-ball, it's used all the time.
It's part of the game, yeah.
Yeah.
It is. And yes, I think it does give the lower level players, the amateur lower level players, it does sometimes give them a chance to make things accidentally and still be a part of the game. But at the same time, we like to see that evolve into a learning opportunity and a chance for them to grow with the game, which is why we have our higher level players out there and our captains out there. Hey, that was a great shot. You went 4 rails, you came off that tip, and it went in that corner pocket. But let me show you how you could actually do that for real and mean to make it. You know, it's kind of a tough one to answer.
Yeah.
I think it's a good way to bring in new
Yeah,
players.
that's a yeah, for sure.
My wife beats me all the time with that stupid shot.
All right, let's see. We got another question. Go ahead.
We got one from the Beard Queen. He says, what are the steps you take to get yourself into the zone? You know, getting yourself ready for a match. Do you take any steps when you're getting ready?
The U.S. Amateur tournament that I won, regional tournament. Now, the last regional tournament that I actually won and went to Vegas, I actually did do some practicing before the tournament. I made an 8-ball break during practice, and I put my stick away. And you know, it's kind of funny. I don't like to shoot before. I might take a couple strokes. Some people that works for, some people it doesn't. Trying to get into the stroke and into the rhythm. Usually for me, I like to have a nice breakfast, relax, and watch other people practice, and then go right into a tournament from there.
Right on.
I find sometimes if I'm not shooting, in practice it carries on in my head, so I start from scratch.
So we got a question from Fred Vetters. What was your best comeback in a tournament play, and how much was the payout, and who was it with?
Wow. Probably kind of like you, Fred. That's probably way too drunk to remember. You know, probably, and the payout, obviously, I wasn't playing for money. I was playing a tournament. I was down, I think I was down in the finals 3-0 in the finals, and it was like the Golden Fleece at the regional tournament, and I was down 3-0, and I just took some deep breaths and kind of relaxed and said, I've been here before, and I ended up coming back and actually finished the match with an 8-ball break. What was kind of ironic was that the guy that I beat was also the guy that was giving me a ride home from all the way back to Tacoma, so from Kenmore. So it was a little uncomfortable, but it was a lot of fun.
Right.
That's great. So there's another question in here from the practice room. He says, Gene, in your mind, what do you think limits players from advancing?
Their own self-confidence. They're putting time. Look, and like I said, before a tournament, I may not practice before a tournament, but I don't care what game you play. And even a lot of us, what we do in our jobs outside of work or at work, practice. Earl Anthony said one time that the key to being good at any game is repetitive. Being repetitive. Practicing the positive, practicing the good over and over and over again. Knowing when not to practice bad habits. Knowing when it's time to put it away. I think taking the time, and especially in the game of pool, look, there's a lot of people sitting out there at pool tables. Well, there will be again, but there's people out there playing pool that love to give time. They love to take time with a beginning player, with somebody that has questions, with somebody that tips their head when they see the guy make a shot and wonder how he did it. I could tell you probably 9 out of 10 times that that guy that just made that shot would love nothing more than to tell that new person just stepping up to a pool table how he did it.
Yep, I agree.
You know, taking the time to go out and get involved.
Yeah.
I think that not putting the time in to do the practice it probably limits most people to anything they do.
Right on. All right, we got time for one more question.
You know,
Dan, you wanna ask it?
Yeah, I'll ask it. So last question we got in here. Again, it's the practice room. He says, do you think internet streamers have helped the game continue on during the lockdown, or is it a lost cause?
It's really funny with the internet, social media. It has its pluses and it has its minuses. I mean, it has its negatives. I think that the positive part of the streaming, I think is a good thing. It's another tool. When used correctly, when used the right way, when used positively for good information, it's a great tool. On the other side of that, to be used in a negative way or in a demeaning way, to belittle somebody's game or belittle somebody's thought process on what they think, again, it's just destructive and negative. Anytime any opinions and thoughts that somebody has, sometimes it's their thoughts and their opinions. They're more than welcome to them. Just because you don't think that they fit your beliefs doesn't mean they're wrong or wrong for that person. I think with our live streaming and our internet stuff, it's the same thing. It's when used positively in a good way, whether it's learning, practicing, or anything else, it's great. I mean, that's a lot of our kids, millennials, that are coming up. This has been one of their main tools
Yeah.
that they've learned from and that they continue to learn from. So as long as it keeps advancing in a positive direction, I think it's good.
Good deal. All
That's
right.
fantastic.
This
You
is
know
what
what?
I like.
I think we should ask this last question. This last
Okay,
question's really
go ahead.
good.
No, I'm not cutting my hair.
Good.
Go ahead, ask the last question.
All right, we got one last question from the
Oh,
Beard
okay.
King. It
Go ahead,
says,
Jeff.
does Gene have any other passions in life outside of what's been spoken about tonight? So what do you have passions for besides pool and pool league?
I could say poker is one of them.
Well, that
Yeah, you know that one. I am a poker player, and obviously I love to ride the bike.
Hell yeah.
I love to get out and ride. I mean, I could ride all day except when it's 30 degrees out. Now my life has kind of taken a big turn now that I've found my perfect fit with my wife. So I really have a passion with doing what we call Garno adventures. We take off and we go in a direction, and if we get lost, we just keep going. And where we end up, we never know until we get there. And so we call them Garno adventures, and that's kind of a passion of mine now is spending time doing our adventures with my wife.
That's great.
And it's a blast, you know. This game actually brought her. I'd like to say it was kind of me too, but I don't know. I think it was a lot of you guys. She was watching online. She was paying attention to the pool league and what I was doing, and decided to. We actually graduated from the same high school in California, and she was in Oklahoma, and I was up here. And through Facebook and watching the pool league and everything, she decided to buy a one-way ticket and showed up here. And so it's kind of because of the game of pool, and we got married down in Vegas, and she played her very first World Championships down in Vegas that year that we got married. Got her very first 9-ball break ever.
Nice.
In her first match at the World Championships. So, and just real quick, I know we're getting short on time here, but you know, one of the things that really gives me a lot of joy, a lot of fun, sometimes it makes me tear up or gets my heart going, is when you give an award, a trophy, or something to somebody that, say, and it really doesn't matter their age, but let's say 50 or so, they've never won anything in their life. And they've won the team playoffs, and they come up and you give them their first trophy, and you can see that tear coming down.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll tell you what, there is no better feeling in the world than watching that joy of somebody get that thrill of winning at a game, and really when they're just first learning how, and watching the excitement of getting back on the table. So that is what keeps me coming back and keeps me really a part of being in a league.
Right on. That's awesome, Gene.
That's great.
I totally understand where you're coming from with that. All right, what we're going to do now is called our shout outs. So we're going to start with Jeff. We're going to go to Daniel, because I know he has to go to bed. We'll go to Gene, and then I'll have the closing words. So, Jeff, go ahead.
The shout outs for what? It's closing statements. Well, make sure you guys like the video. If you're new, please subscribe. We're almost 450 subscribers. We're trying to get to 500. We're getting really close, so please share. Tell your friends.
That's all you're gonna say?
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
You're not gonna tell them about the stretch video almost getting there?
No, because
okay, all right. Okay.
We'll save that for another time.
Danny, what do you got, man?
Yeah, so I just want to shout out Gene, man. Thanks for, I've known you for 2 decades, maybe a little bit longer than that.
Hell yeah!
I still remember my very first breakout match, where, I played, the very first match I ever played really, really good was against you in a finals, in a playoff finals, and it was one of the first trophies I ever won. And, I still think about that match all the time. I talk about it all the time, so, the league's meant a lot to me over the years, and, I have a deep passion for the game. So, thank you for being, such a good go-to guy and just an overall great guy, for the 2 decades I've known you, man. You've been great for Pool and Peirce County and for our area and representing us. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Dave. And it's been a thrill watching you grow in the game and as a person. You and Amy, David, I miss that guy. I see him on the Facebook and stuff too. Watching you guys grow up in the pool league and especially around state lights there a lot of times back during the 9-foot tape. So thank you very much for everything you've done also.
Thanks, bud.
Gene, do you have any shout outs? You want to mention anybody before we close it up?
First of all, Jeff, I'm telling you, if you don't ask this question, Kelly Griffiths will hound you. And Kelly, ETA is soon. Hopefully soon.
That's a great answer.
So you're looking for something else. I know you want a date that we're going to get back in there. The governor, the locations, there's some steps that have to come in before we can actually get you guys back out there all as a group again. We will get there. We will get there. This league has gone through things. We're strong. We will get back in there. It's going to take some patience. Go out, visit those host locations. Let's get them strong again. Let's beat this. Let's make sure everybody's safe. I really hope that we get to get out there and do this again soon. Again, I'd like to give you guys a shout out. This is an opportunity for people to voice their opinions, have some fun. You guys are always a blast. There was a day when I could beat all 3 of you, and now you guys freaking hand me my tail every time I play you. But it's great to see you guys doing this with the pool community and interacting. You guys really are a lot of fun. So again, thanks for having me out. It's been a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll see you all soon.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Gene.
Absolutely.
So the final words from me is this. What's amazing to me, Daniel pointed it out, literally 2 decades is a really long time, but it feels like it just went by so quick. And the thing that you pointed out is that, yes, at one time you were able to beat us no problem. But what I feel is that, the Bill Chillises and the Robert Austins and the LTs, they were the OGs. And now they're kind of handing the torch to us, where we're supposed to teach the ones that are coming up and whatnot. And that's what motivates me to put out what I do for this channel. Again, I want to say thank you for coming out and spending some time with us. It was really fun hanging out with you. I love the fact that you're a motorcycle rider, just like me and Jeff too. So one of these days we got to go for a ride.
And we should. Exactly, we got to get out and ride.
Yep. Just a couple quick announcements. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that bell icon. A couple things that are coming up. Johnny Archer has agreed to come on the show sometime after his big tournament. Just today, I actually got in contact with Sky Windward. He is looking to come on the show as well, so that's going to be really exciting. Join us for that. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Gene, the awesome dude from Peirce County, right here, with the hair, with everything. Thank you very much, Gene.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Hey, Gene, hang around for a second. We're going to cut the live
All right,
stream.
guys.
We'll be right back. See you, Daniel.